This is the Appliance Alliance podcast, where we are elevating the appliance industry, one podcast at a time. Hey guys, and welcome to the Appliance Alliance podcast. I am your host with the most equipment, Zach Ryder, and alongside of me, actually in person, this is kind of fun. We have my rotating co-host, EJ Magic Mike Johnson.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's EJ here. We're actually recording this one today in Virginia Beach, Virginia at the Virginia Meetup. Those of you that didn't make it yet, sorry for you. The ones that have, man, we're having a good time. Today we got a good one coming up. We're going to be talking about the controversial topic of starting your own business. You know, there's the idea that a lot of good techs are out there get tired of working for somebody and want to kind of start their own business. And we want to talk about, is that a good idea? What does it take? You know, different types of discussion about that. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, so it is a hot button topic for sure. So one of the things that we have discussed is that a lot of great technicians find themselves starting a business and end up failing. They think that just because they're a great technician, they have what it takes to be a business owner. And really, being a business owner, and we've kind of talked about it before, it is not the same thing as being a technician, right? They're two different worlds. And so what does the first year look like? So you are the newest one in the crew, and you're coming through that phase. So what was your start like? Let's hit on that topic. What was your start like?
Yeah. I kind of started a little different. When I started up, I wasn't actually aiming to start my own business. I actually had a full-time job, and it actually paid pretty well. And I wasn't really happy. I didn't feel like I got the drive and the motivation to do what I had to do with it. It was more of an income. And I was in the middle of trying to get myself out of debt and put myself in a better spot so I could move away from that job. And I started flipping appliances, you know, and that for a lot of people, that's a great way to start. You know, you're not in a customer's home. You're not trying to learn on the fly, you know, high pressure. You know, get some scrap and start figuring it out. Start with dryers, washers, and see what you can do. Get them as cheap as you can. Fix them. If they're not worth fixing, scrap them.
Well, and I think that's a great way to start off, right? I mean, I feel like having come into the business as a technician working for a company, I learned a lot on the job. I learned from my mentor before I was out and on the road. And a lot of guys don't have that necessarily. And so they're just kind of thrown into it. So I feel like there's a ton of value in learning that in the safety of your own place, right? Yeah, you're not going to see everything, but you're going to get the basics. You're going to learn what the basics of it are. So that's the technical side of things. But how about the business side of things? Like, what did that look like in this first year for you?
So the biggest thing about running your business, if you're going to jump in and have your business, the hardest thing to do is make your phone ring. You got to have the customer base. You know, just because you could be an excellent tech, you know, I wasn't really an excellent tech for appliances. I'm a technician in general. I'm a guy that fixes things. I actually had a little business sense from management career that I've had too. But how do you get your phone to ring? And I didn't know anything about that. I was more leading processes and people. But really, it takes a little bit of initiative to get out on your own and meet people. You know, a couple things that really helped me starting off was I introduced myself around my area, my community, different furniture and appliance stores, Lowe's or Home Depot. Lowe's is big in my area. A lot of people have Home Depot, but go to the appliance section and introduce yourself to the guys that are selling the appliances. Because what I've learned is a lot of customers, when they buy an appliance and it goes wrong, they don't know who to call. You know, if they ain't going to Google, if they don't go to Google they're going to Lowe's. They're going to where they bought it. Hey, what do I do? And a lot of times, Lowe's or Home Depot, if it's out of warranty, they're like, I don't know.
Good luck.
I don't know what to tell you. But here's what you do. You go up and you just be a friendly face, shake their hand, introduce yourself, give them a stack of business cards. That's what I started. I was really nervous about the business card idea. Honestly, that's a funny thing too, right? I looked up on Vistaprint, and I was going to order 500 business cards. I kind of designed them myself as a generic logo. I didn't have my actual logo yet, and it was $50. And I was terrified because I wasn't ready to jump in. I didn't even know if it was going to work. $50 scared the crap out of me. But I'll tell you, the first call that I got back, and at that time I was doing a $50 service fee because I didn't know any better about pricing. And we've got some videos about pricing if you want to check those out. Was it the one about flat rate pricing?
Yeah.
And the last one, episode 20 with customers.
Who's your customer? Yep.
So that's some good content too. But the first person that called me and I made $50 plus the labor, I said, I want another 500. This is good. If I got $50 out of one card and I bought 500 for $50, the numbers started making sense. But you got to have that.
You
desire,
have that business
that
set. You have that business mindset, and you have that drive. And that's the thing. I just saw this posted, and I don't know if you saw it in the House Call Pro group the other day, but someone posted like, "Hey, business owners, how do you shut your mind down at night?" And the answer is, you freaking don't.
Oh,
like you can't. You may be a great tech, and this is a question I want to ask for you. I don't want to dive into it because I know how I felt going from technician to business owner, but I kind of want to get your take on it. Do you sleep better now that you're a business owner than an employee?
I tell you, since I've gone full time, I get to be in bed longer because I'm not working 16-hour days. That's the only difference, man. As a tech, you go to work. And you come home from work, you drive home, you're shutting down, you're home. You ain't worried about nothing else. You're not salary, you're an hourly employee. It ain't your job.
We're on vacation. Not my monkeys.
We love talking business here, all of us together. But man, when I'm on vacation, I'm thinking about how much money I'm not making this week. Because until you get employees, other techs running the work for you, you ain't working, you ain't making no money. And that's the difference.
Well, and even having employees going on vacation. I mean, I took my first vacation in 9 years. So since I became a technician, and I mean, every other time that I've left, even for work trips, like my mind is going, okay, what's going to break while I'm gone? And we were talking and crap broke on my way down here and I'm 600 miles away. I can't do squat about it.
Right.
And so, as an owner, whether you have employees or not, like you don't get to stop worrying. So if you want to start an appliance repair business because you're tired of your boss is a jerk, find a new boss. If that's the only, if that is the only reason,
right,
you want to start your own business, find a different boss. There's plenty of us out there looking for technicians.
If you think you're going to work for yourself and you're going to like your boss better, think again.
Yeah, my boss is a jerk. I hate
my boss.
Yeah.
He makes me work too much. I got to work at home even. Now, just talk about a little bit of the business side. Like maybe you are one of those guys that has the drive and you don't mind to put in that extra thought, the extra work, because it's yours. How do you get to that point though? I mean, it's more than just kind of understanding about a little bit about how numbers work, how to make the phone ring. We talk about the E-Myth a lot. Great book. If you haven't read it, grab that. I mean, if you're not a reader like me, get the audio book.
Audible. I listen to Audible all the time.
Yes.
E-Myth, E-Myth HVAC, E-Myth Revisited, Traction, EOS, Profit First. I mean, there's a ton of valuable resources out there for you. And I don't feel like I feel like a lot of people didn't talk about that before. You know,
Right.
I've had my own business for 5 going on, in January, it'll be 6 years. And I feel like within the last year or two is when I really started to catch my stride of figuring out what business looked like. And it's because
Yep.
people started sharing those resources where I could go,
Yep. They
wait,
start
I've been doing
mentioning.
this wrong the entire time,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Little shout out. I got the Profit First from Mike Sneed, Appliance Boot Camp. Miss Ward's always recommending books. The E Myth, there's people out there that are talking about it, but you got to actually get out and look for it. And we're going to talk about that stuff too. Where I wanted to go with the E Myth is, me and Zach, we're in the earlier stages of our businesses, but if you want to be a successful business owner, and you do have that business mindset, and you're a really good tech, eventually being a great tech ain't going to matter for your business, and being a great manager won't even matter, because the goal and the dream for any business owner is to build a business that runs without you. So you got to really put in the work and the effort in those beginning years. And yes, it's years. It's not just months. I haven't found anybody that does it in months. It's going to take years. You got to build a business with systems and processes. You've got to have work management systems. You got to have a good hiring and training system, people that are loyal to you and do what they're asked, and people to manage it. Basically owning your own business to start is basically just owning your own job. Like even Zach here, he's got people that work for him on his team. He's not doing all of the work. But Zach, do you feel like you own your business, or do you own your job?
No, I feel like it runs me most of the time.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it runs me most of the time. And the goal is to get to a point where you're working on your business and not in your business.
Yep.
And, you hear these cliches all the time, but there's truth to them, right? Like there is just these nuggets of truth within that. And, you have to be willing to put forth the effort. You have to be willing to take the risk. If you have an aversion to risk, just stop. Like, go find a company to work for, and there's plenty of work.
Yeah.
A business owner will make sure that you're making a decent commission if they're a good boss, and provide you a place to go. If you're not afraid of risk, and you're willing to kind of muddle through these beginning stages, then by all means, like, start a company, right?
Right.
We're not trying to discourage anyone. Like, that's not our goal in this podcast. We don't want to discourage you, but we're going to share the pitfalls of this, because we get this question all the time. Like, hey, I'm starting a business and I'm doing it this way. And we read some of these comments and questions, and we're just like, you're not a business owner. You are a great technician, but you're not a business owner.
I mean, we all know each other from the Facebook groups, and sometimes you just wish you could just say, listen to me.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
Because, it's just a joke for anybody that is a business owner, because it's all the work, man. And another option that usually gets overlooked too, because, you could work for somebody in a business and be committed to that business. You can own your own business. Another option too, you could subcontract. There's some people that do that, and a lot of business owners now are hiring subcontractors. They'll give you enough work to do, but you still have your own business. You might subcontract for a few places. It might get a little confusing and everything, but hang on. There's other options. If you just hate your boss and the hours and the way they treat you, find somebody else before you do it. Start trying to flip on the side. See if you like it. Maybe do a few side jobs before you jump all the way in. Especially if you're getting into appliance repair with no experience. There's companies out there and programs that are offering to teach you appliance repair in a couple weeks or a weekend, and
not gonna happen.
You're going to get a little bit,
right?
And you could come out and do that. They might even make you a tech eventually. You might know how to start a business. Do you want to be successful right away? That's very hard to do. Okay. But if you really, really want to struggle it all the way through, start it with a weekend of experience and make your business an LLC and see what happens. There's people out there that's been successful with it, but try to tell me it wasn't hard. And maybe harder than it needed to be.
I would say a lot of them are in the minority of successful business owners. I'm not saying that they're not there, right? I mean, we've chatted with them. We look up to them.
There's
right?
plenty.
But I would say that's definitely the minority of successful business owners. It doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it's definitely, there's a lower number there. And yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. Like, you can be a company person and that's great. Like, maybe that's the thing that works for you. You can be a subcontractor and maybe that's the thing that works for you. But there's no shame in any of that if you're not built to be, a business owner. And and I was going to say about the the 1099 guys, the subcontractors, like, it gives you a taste of business, right? And so maybe if you're subcontracting for someone, you kind of realize, like, oh, well, I don't know the numbers as well as I thought I did. Or I don't know, business as well as I thought I did. And if you don't have the drive to figure that out, that's a good time to go. I'm just going to.
It's much lower risk.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not financially invested. You don't get so emotionally invested.
Right.
And you know what? If you've realized after 30 days, hey, this ain't working.
Right.
Then walk away. No hard feelings. You ain't lost your job. You ain't lost your business. You ain't lost nothing. But
you will find someone that will hire you on as a regular, W-2 type employee if you enjoy the technical side of things, right? If you enjoy being a technician, then find a company that'll hire you on as a W-2 employee and rock and roll. Whether it's commission based or hourly or whatever the case is. Find a company that does that. But that 1099, that subcontracting, is a great way to kind of wet your feet if you're new to it, right? I bought an existing business, and boy, there are days that I wish I could go back and just do it all over again.
Yeah, some people think that would be the easy way to go, is somebody's already started it and just kind of acquire it and take it over.
You inherit a lot of messes. I mean, you guys came out and you saw it, and you're like, well, why do you do it this way? Because that's what I was taught to do.
Yeah.
And that was the honest answer. I didn't know any better. It's what I was taught to do. So you inherit a lot of messes when you purchase a business. So that I 10 out of 10 do not recommend.
And really, like, you're talking about a business owner still at tech level.
Yes.
When you're trying to be a tech in your business and be the business owner, well, you can't do both all day.
No.
You sacrifice work in the day to run the business, or you sacrifice time at night to get the work in the day and do the business stuff at night. And that's what you end up with. You got a business that was functional, marginally successful, but in order to get to that next level, you got to be able to free yourself up to work on it, because nobody else is going to build it for you.
Right. Right. And so this is where we encourage you guys to find mentors, and part of the thing that we're working on with Appliance Alliance is building the capability to kind of to take you from that next step. Okay, say you're ready to dive in deeper. We want to be there to help you guys move to that next level.
Right.
The thing that we share at the beginning of the podcast, we are elevating the appliance repair industry one podcast at a time. And that's our goal. We want to do that one business owner at a time, one business at a time, one technician at a time.
Yep.
We want to make the whole industry better. And so let's talk about the downside of this, right? We were talking about it on the beach a little bit yesterday. So the companies that are out there that are business owners and just burning up towns, right? You are not doing the industry justice.
Yeah. You're talking about the chucking the truck, the scam artists.
Yeah. I mean, so
screwing their customers.
you just think, oh, there's so much money in being a business owner, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna tear it up. Well,
Yeah.
that is not the right way to do it. You are doing a disservice to everyone. You might because some of these guys I don't think are good technicians, but you might be a good technician and you're out there pissing off customers and burning up towns. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yep.
And so this is where we're trying to encourage you, right? Is find what you're good at, find what is your passion and what you enjoy, and pursue it. And there's options for dipping your toes in and stuff like that. Like that's what we're trying to get you to take away from this.
I mean, really, if you're just starting out and you don't know the appliances yet, I've heard a few people recommend it. Start with dryers and ice makers. Slowly work in cooking. Maybe occasionally take a washer and slowly start that up. I'll tell you what, when I started out, I didn't do refrigerators. I did washers, dryers, ovens, dishwashers. I didn't even do microwaves. Still not doing microwaves a whole lot. I'm advertising for it, or I'm open to it, but we don't get many calls for that. But refrigerators is where it changed for me. But I wasn't ready when I started. I didn't do it. I didn't feel comfortable going into a customer's house and doing it. But after I turned down, funny story was I was turning down refrigerator calls, and one day I turned down 6 in one day. As a single man shop business owner, I said, that's it. I'm done. I spent 5 or 6 hours watching YouTube videos because I didn't have a mentor that would teach me. And that's important, like he's saying. But if you don't, you improvise. I'm a YouTube certified master technician. Okay. But I study and I learn beyond the YouTube videos. Right. So I thought I'm going to learn as much as I could. I got on these different sites and I'm reading about refrigerator cycles and theory. That's part of it. Again, after hours, 5 hours of a night, studying, just to be comfortable enough to take an ice maker call.
Right.
Because I don't want to look like an idiot.
And keep in mind, that's a technician side.
Yeah.
Never mind all the other business stuff that has to happen in that same after hours stretch of time. Like that's the point that we're getting at here, guys. We're going to wrap up because we're trying to keep these short, but
I'll tell you, we didn't talk about the good side.
Well, all right, let's bring in the good side. That's our wrap up.
Yeah.
That's our wrap up is the good side of things.
The good side. I mean, look, again, neither one of us are at that point where we're just kind of hands off with our business. We're both running calls and we're both building a business. We're both working on procedures and processes. So there's other guys that could talk better about those parts. But here we are in Virginia Beach. Who paid for your trip?
Yeah, it's the business paying for it for sure. My
business has paid for this trip, gas, hotel, food down here. You get to have the flexibility of your own schedule. I took off Thursday and Friday this week, Monday next week, and I'm going on vacation again next weekend with my family. The business is paying for that. But I'll tell you, 3 years in, I'm just now making vacations. Now, you heard Zach say 9 years. I had gone so many years without a real vacation, more than a weekend trip. This year, I finally took my family for a week of vacation in Florida, and we didn't struggle one bit.
Yeah, you came back charged up, man. You came back really charged up after that vacation. It was good to see.
I'll tell you, about the business. We talk about processes and procedures. Getting your finances in order. We mentioned the Profit First system. This year, when I went full time in December, I started the Profit First system, and guess what? I have profit. I'm getting paid. My bills are paid. I have enough to buy whatever we need. I'm not loaded, but we're comfortable. And that's something I never got as an employee. Part of it was my own financial mishaps, but getting a business kind of motivated me and gave me that drive to do it right. Because I've seen so many people successful. I wanted to be one of them. So flexible schedule, vacations paid for.
And having a team working with me, I think one of the greatest joys for me is seeing people be successful in what they do, seeing people enjoy what they do. You know, we all celebrated. We're recording this on Saturday. We all celebrated on Friday afternoon. I got a notification on Google My Business that our scheduler Steph got a 5-star review. Like, she killed it, right? So literally, you have this group of business owners hanging out in this hotel room, celebrating one of my team members, killing it at her job. Like, that's why I do what I do. Like, those kind of things are just like,
that's exciting.
Huge wins. That's the good side of owning a business. You get to celebrate
that
with your
sense of
team.
Pride and accomplishment and doing the right thing, like we mentioned. I live in a small town, and people in my area are starting to know who I am. People say, "Hey, who do you call? Call EJ," you know. And I like one thing I like doing is sponsoring teams. It's like I think it's so cool to help out other organizations, like the little sports teams in our area, and help them out. It's just satisfaction to be able to do it, and it's a tax write-off, but it's just that satisfaction of seeing it work, because it is a lot of work, but when it does work, man, it feels good.
Yeah, and I'd say for my business, we'll be at that point in the next 6 months to a year where we can start sponsoring stuff like that. I've had to pay off all the loans from purchasing an existing business. So again, 10 out of 10, do not recommend purchasing an existing business unless you have a ridiculous amount of capital laying around. But yeah, so I look forward to being a part of that. I know other business owners in my area that really just enjoy being able to give back to the community. We haven't financially been able to do that, but I'm looking forward to being able to do that. So guys, those are just some of the highlights, the downsides, the
upsides.
I mean, we don't sugarcoat anything, right? We gave you the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. And really it's just kind of a brief little thing, but I'm sure we'll be talking about it more. We're we can't give away the cow, but we'll give away some milk here.
We just want to help you guys out. Make the decision. Don't jump into that decision. I mean, maybe it's a great idea, but don't do it without thinking about it. Join the Appliance Alliance Facebook community if you're not already on. Go to theappliancealliance.com to get on the email list. Look out for new content coming. If you need tech support, we got a Patreon group. Just ask somebody on the Appliance Alliance about the tech support. We got a community of guys coming together that are ready to help anytime. Lots of big things. So check us out on Facebook and online.
All right, guys, with that, we're gonna close for the day. So until next time, this has been the Appliance Alliance podcast. Signing off.